Come to Cafe Leora at 6 p.m. She's perfect for you. Trust me. Amir almost ignored it. After 3 years of raising his 7-year-old son alone, blind dates were the last thing on his mind. Life had been survival: morning school runs, late food deliveries on his bike, helping with homework at night, and falling asleep with unpaid bills on his chest. Love felt like a luxury he could not afford. But that evening, something inside him whispered, just go. Maybe life is tired of testing you. If you believe sometimes life surprises the people who keep trying, then this story is for you. And if stories about hope, sacrifice, and unexpected love touch your heart, don't forget to support the channel by liking and subscribing, because stories like this deserve to reach people who need them the most. Amir arrived 10 minutes early. The cafe smelled of roasted coffee and warm bread. Couples laughed softly around him. He checked his old watch again and again, suddenly feeling foolish. He almost stood to leave when he saw her. She sat near the window in a wheelchair. Her hair was tied loosely, a few strands falling across her face. She looked younger than he expected, maybe 24 or 25. But what struck him most was her eyes. Calm. Deep. Like someone who had cried enough for a lifetime and now refused to waste tears. Beside her sat an older woman, probably a caretaker. Amir froze. This must be a mistake, he thought. My friend said perfect, he didn't say. Before he could think further, the older woman noticed him and smiled. She gestured him closer. Are you Amir? He nodded slowly. I'm Farah. This is Zara. Zara looked at him and gave a small smile. She lifted her hand slightly in greeting. Farah spoke softly. Zara is deaf, and she cannot speak normally. She communicates through sign language and a tablet. Amir felt heat rush to his face. Not anger. Not disappointment. Just shock. And guilt for feeling shocked. He sat down slowly. Zara picked up a tablet from her lap and typed. The screen turned toward him. Hi. Thank you for coming. Amir swallowed. Hi. I'm glad to meet you. They sat in awkward silence for a moment. Then Farah stood. I'll give you two some time. And just like that, Amir was alone with a stranger who could not hear him, and whose life looked 10 times harder than his. He tried to speak, then realized she couldn't hear. He laughed nervously. She noticed and smiled wider, then typed again. You can talk. I read lips a little. That broke the tension. He ordered tea for both of them. She nodded gratefully. Minutes passed. He told her about his son, Daniel. About losing his wife during childbirth complications. About how he learned to braid hair because Daniel liked ponytails on his school projects. Zara listened with intense focus, her eyes never leaving his face. Then she typed something longer. My parents died in a car accident 2 years ago. I survived. But spine injury. Hearing nerve damage. Doctors said miracle I lived. Amir felt his chest tighten. He didn't know why his friend had set this up. Was it pity? Charity? A social experiment? But as he looked at Zara, she didn't look like pity. She looked like strength. When the tea arrived, she struggled slightly holding the cup. Instinctively, he adjusted the table closer. She looked surprised, then grateful. They spent 2 hours together. Not romantic. Not dramatic. Just real. When they left, Farah returned. Zara typed one last thing before leaving. Thank you for seeing me like a person. Not a problem. That sentence followed Amir home like an echo. That night, he messaged his friend angrily. Why didn't you tell me? Why put me in that situation? His friend replied with one line. Because you needed to meet someone stronger than you. Days passed. But Zara stayed in his thoughts. Her eyes. Her quiet strength. That sentence. A week later, he visited the rehabilitation center where she stayed. He told himself it was just to check on her. It wasn't. Over the next months, their connection grew. He learned basic sign language. She taught denial sign too, and the boy loved it, treating it like a secret superhero language. But life was not suddenly easy. The rehabilitation center announced funding cuts. Zara might have to move to a government facility with fewer resources. Amir panicked more than he expected. He started working double shifts. Food delivery in mornings. Warehouse loading at night. One evening, exhausted, he visited Zara. She noticed his shaking hands and pale face. She typed slowly. "You are doing too much." He forced a smile. "I'm fine." She looked straight into his eyes. Then typed something that broke him. "I know when someone is breaking. I broke once too." He looked away, but tears still came. Weeks later, he learned something shocking. Zara was not poor. Her parents had been wealthy business owners. But after their deaths, relatives fought over property. Legal battles froze most assets. Medical bills consumed the rest. She was trapped in paperwork and broken systems. Amir felt anger. Not for money. For injustice. One night, after denial slept, Amir sat beside Zara on the rehabilitation rooftop. City lights blinked below them. He finally asked, "Why did you agree to meet me that day?" She typed slowly. "Longer than ever before. My cousin set it up. She said single dad like you would reject me fast. She wanted to prove no one would stay. She said I should stop hoping for love. But I wanted to see if she was right." Amir's chest hurt. He whispered, even though she couldn't hear, "I'm glad you tried." She watched his lips. Then she typed the words that would stay with him forever. "I didn't fall for you because you are strong. I fell because you are kind when no one is watching." Amir broke down completely. Not loud. Not dramatic. Just silent tears falling onto his worn jeans. Because no one had ever said that to him. Not when he worked in rain. Not when he skipped meals so denial could eat. Not when he buried his wife alone. Someone finally saw him. Months later, legal help from a charity helped Zara regain partial access to her parents' trust fund. She could afford long-term care and therapy. But something unexpected happened. She chose independence. She moved into a small apartment. Near Amir. Not because she needed him. Because she wanted him. Life still tested them. Denial struggled at school sometimes. Zara faced painful therapy days. Amir battled exhaustion and self-doubt. But they faced it together. 1 year later, at the same cafe, Amir knelt beside her wheelchair and showed a small ring. She laughed silently, covering her mouth, tears filling her eyes. She signed slowly, carefully, so he wouldn't miss it. Yes. Denial clapped loudly, not caring who stared. And in that moment, Amir realized something powerful. He was never tricked into dating Zara. Life tricked him into finding someone who could understand pain and still choose love. So if you're watching this and you feel life has been unfair to you, remember this. Sometimes the hardest roads don't lead to loneliness. Sometimes they lead to people who understand why you walk slowly and choose to walk beside you anyway. And if this story touched your heart even a little, support the channel by liking and subscribing, because stories like this remind us that kindness is still stronger than cruelty, and love is still stronger than fear.